They once called us fragile, a brief flicker of life beneath a pale sun, destined to burn out quietly. But the stars remember differently, because we were not just survivors. We were the storm they never saw coming. Across the void where empires once ruled and fell, a new light rises. Forged in silence, tempered by pain and carried by a species the galaxy once hunted. This is not a story of domination. It is the song of remembrance, of how humanity became legend. In the first age of expansion, humanity was small, a fragile flame reaching into the dark. Our first ships were whispers in a storm of titans. We came not as conquerors but as explorers, wide-eyed, naive, believing the universe would welcome us. But the void had teeth. The first contact war shattered every illusion. Alien fleets descended like gods of judgment, their weapons rewriting the stars. Earth burned. Colonies fell silent. For the first time, humankind learned what it meant to be prey. Fear became our teacher. Every loss carved knowledge into our bones. Every death became code. Every retreat, a lesson written in blood. And from those ashes, something new emerged. Resolve. While the galaxy laughed at our weakness, humanity built in silence. We learned their languages, their patterns, their flaws. We studied the anatomy of power itself, not to worship it, but to dismantle it. Our engineers forged weapons that thought faster than light. Our soldiers moved as one, guided by neural links that turned fear into precision. We adapted, evolved, outsmarted, because that's what the hunted do. The first time humanity struck back, it wasn't with fleets. It was with silence. An entire armada vanished, erased by a weapon the aliens called the Wraith Pulse. They didn't even understand what killed them. We had become the ghost in their mythology, the whisper in their war songs. They called us the Echo species. By the 2nd century of war, the tables turned. We were no longer fleeing. We were hunting. World by world, system by system, the predators found themselves cornered. But victory wasn't enough, because deep down, we remembered the fear, and humanity vowed, never again. When the wars ended, the galaxy expected vengeance. Instead, humanity rebuilt. We didn't erase their cultures, we absorbed them. We didn't enslave, we invited. We became something new, the architects of balance. Trade flowed through human hands. Art, philosophy, and science bloomed across worlds once drenched in war. Even alien poets began writing in human tongues, the language of survival. They called it the Pax Humana, an age of fragile peace held together by the gravity of one idea: that life, in all its forms, deserved a second chance. And yet, beneath the peace, the old fear stirred again. Not from others, but from within us. Because power once claimed hungers to remain. We built cities the size of moons. We bent time and gravity to our will. We seeded life on barren worlds, recreating Eden again and again. But for every paradise we forged, a question echoed. Had we become what we once feared? Some believed humanity had ascended, that we were the chosen architects of destiny. Others whispered that we had stolen the throne of the gods. Our philosophers debated, our priests prayed to stars that no longer needed them. But the truth was simpler and far more profound. We had inherited the universe's oldest instinct, to create meaning from chaos. When the first Stellar Council convened, thousands of species watched as a human ambassador spoke the words that would echo through time. We do not rule, we remember. Every world we touch carries the memory of the hunt and the vow that no one will ever be hunted again. Centuries passed. Humanity's empire became legend, a constellation of ideals more than borders. But new whispers arose, of shadows beyond the mapped stars, an ancient presence stirring in the void, older than time, older than light. The first ones, the architects of the original cosmos. When their emissary arrived, it spoke not in words, but in memory. It showed humanity a reflection, what we were, what we had become, and what we might still be. You have reclaimed the galaxy, it said, but can you reclaim your soul? The encounter changed everything. We realized the journey wasn't about conquest, it was about understanding why we endured, why across every ERA of death and despair, humanity refused to vanish. Because deep down, we were never the hunted or the hunters. We were the witnesses, the universe's way of remembering itself. In the final age, when stars fade and galaxies fall silent, one light will remain. Not the brightest, not the strongest, but the most enduring. The voice of a species that began as prey and became the pulse of creation itself. And when the last ember of existence flickers out, the universe will whisper one final truth. They called them human, and they were never meant to end.